Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to another Madden rebuild. We are taking a step back from the mods to jump back on the PS5 and rebuild the current day Cincinnati Bengals. That is right. The Bengals are being rebuilt today by the Juice. I hope you guys are excited. If you are, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get started. Now you may be wondering, Juice, the Cincinnati Bengals? They don't need to be rebuilt. They're a perennial playoff team. Why would they need to be rebuilt? Well, I'll tell you why they need to be rebuilt. Because they have a lot of holes for a perennial playoff team. Obviously, we've got our franchise QB, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow. If I could roll my R's, I would do it. Joe Burrow, former Ohio State quarterback, transferred to LSU, won the Heisman, won a national championship, had one of the best LSU team and best college football teams of all time that second season in LSU. Absolutely dominant. That's our quarterback. We're good. We don't need to look for a quarterback. That's pretty obvious. We're solid with Joe Burrow at quarterback. 6'4", 215, 26 years old. He's our guy. The franchise is also built around Jamar Chase, who is X Factor, unbelievably good. You guys know all about him. He's fantastic. So we've got our quarterback one, and we've got our wide receiver one. As for everybody else, it's kind of up in the air. I do like T. Higgins. I really, really do like T. Higgins. And he had kind of that Michael Jordan Space Jam type of touchdown play a couple of weeks ago. In real life, that was pretty crazy. And I really think that T. Higgins is good enough to be a wide receiver one on a lot of different teams. If we can keep him around, I certainly will. It'll come down to what our cap room looks like. And I could do the classic Juice rebuild move of doing the free money glitch to free up some space to keep him, which we might do. But if we can keep him just normally, which is signing to him to a normal contract, then that is probably what we're going to do. Because having these two guys as our 1-2 punch at receiver with this kind of guy at quarterback, I feel pretty confident in this team. Then we've got Joe Mixon, who we know is a very good running back. Did he lose his face scan? I thought Joe Mixon had a face scan. But he's 27 years old. He's very good, but he is a little bit low of an overall to be a 27-year-old. 83 overall at 27 is kind of upsetting. I wish he was like 85, 86. That'd make it a little bit more appetizing, but being 27 years old, star development helps, but 83 overall is a little bit low. Obviously, that's going to go up if we start winning games, which I do think this Bengals team can do, because we've seen in previous simulations and previous rebuilds that the Bengals always do decently well in the simulated stuff. So we'll see how they do. Offensive line is going to be the one thing that I think I'm going to focus on the most, because I just realized that I didn't have the camera on, so that's stupid by me. But here we go. We're back. Hello. What I was saying was, at least I caught it early, right? What I was saying was, the offensive line needs to be the thing that I focus on the most, because there's a lot of holes here. We need basically every single position on the offensive line. I like Orlando Brown. I do. But at 27 and an 82, he falls in a similar boat as Joe Mixon. He's talented. I like Orlando Brown. I think he's a good tackle in real life. But he could be the guy. He's probably the only... He's the most likely to stay around, basically. He's the most likely to not get replaced. But that is if we find a tackle in the draft that we like. Anything can happen. But out of all these guys, he's the most likely to stay on the team at the championship when we win a championship. But we'll have to see how it plays out. Everybody else needs to probably get replaced. Even Alex Kappa, being a star development player. He's 28. He's just not going to be good enough when we're in our winning window, like our actual winning window. Tight end could use a replacement. I like Irv Smith, but he's just not high enough overall in Madden. And then on the, oh, I didn't even mention Tyler Boyd. I like Tyler Boyd too. And then on defense, we've got a lot of good pieces. Some very, very good pieces. We've got some good corners in Chidobe Awuzie, DJ Turner from Meat Chicken, and then Cam Taylor-Britt from, where's he from, Nebraska? Yeah, Nebraska. I like Cam Taylor-Britt. CTB, as he's been known to be called. We have Mike Hilton, but he's a little bit older. I think Awuzie is what, he's 27, 28? 28. So we'll have to figure out what to do with Awuzie, but I think we can keep him around for a couple of years at least until he gets to around his early 30s. But hopefully DJ Turner and Taylor-Britt will start to develop and take over those two spots. That's the goal at least. I like Daxton Hill. I think he could be a franchise safety for us. As far as linebackers go, I don't really like what we have. Davis Gaither's fine. Jermaine Pratt's fine. Logan Wilson's fine. Logan Wilson benefits from being a higher overall, and I think he's slightly younger, right? He's 27, so not super young. But he does benefit from being an 86 overall, so that's helpful. DJ Reader, I think, is 29, so we'll have to see what we do with him. Trey Hendrickson gets hurt a lot, but in this, it's not going to matter. Sam Hubbard I like, but we have Miles Murphy, where we have to figure out a spot for him to go. And I think the way for... He's a very good player, and he's got development trait, which will help him out. I think the thing for him to do is we trade Hendrickson. Who's the older player? Is Hubbard younger? I think Hubbard's younger. 28 for Hendrickson, and then Hubbard should be like 26 or 27, I would guess. Oh, he's 28 too, so they're both the same age. Well, then we probably trade Hubbard because he's the lower overall. I was thinking if Hubbard was younger than Hendrickson, that we'd trade Hendrickson because we'd have the younger Hubbard, but since they're around the same age or the same age, I've already forgotten what Hendrickson's age was. We'll probably move on from Sam Hubbard and have Miles Murphy start so that he can get as much playtime as possible. I might even do that right now. And obviously our kicker is Evan McPherson, so we don't have to worry about that. What is our salary situation? Who's making the most money? That's a big question we need to get answered here. So obviously we know Joe Burrow's making the most money. DJ Reader's contract will be up after the season. That's an intriguing one because he's like 29, I think. 28 maybe. No, I think he's 29. Jamar Chase is locked down. That's good. Joe Burrow's also locked down. Hendrickson is locked up. Or locked down. Higgins is locked up. Kappa is interesting. That's a lot of money for a guy that I don't have a future with, or I don't think has a future on this team. BJ Hill is locked up. I like that. Logan Wilson. A lot of these guys are signed to huge contracts or to long contracts, which is very, very nice. Lyle Collins is here. I forgot about that. Mike Hilton's making probably too much money for his production. Chidobe Awuzie's contract is up. That's going to be intriguing. We'll probably bring him back. Ted Karras is making a little bit too much money. Where's Sam Hubbard? Sam Hubbard is right here. So he's not making that much money, but his penalty to trade him is 9.8. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Who's got the biggest... Okay, so obviously we're not going to trade Hendrickson because, one, he's locked up for a while, and two, his penalty is $18.5 million. So we're not going to trade him. Hubbard would be more reasonable to trade. I kind of want Miles. I love Sam Hubbard. Buckeye, love him, great player. But I kind of want Miles Murphy to play because he's got more of a future in this rebuild. We could trade him for his Ohio State teammate, J.K. Dobbins. Okay, what do we do? Was Sam Hubbard on the team with J.K. Dobbins? I don't think he was. He might have been. Maybe when Sam was a senior. Was J.K. there? I don't remember. J.K. was in 2019. I don't know. I think Sam would have been gone by then. That's crazy. Okay. Whatever. Let's see what we can get for Sam Hubbard here. We'll probably trade with the Bears because they have a lot of draft picks. I don't think we can get a first-round pick for Sam Hubbard. I would be shocked if we could. And no, we can't get a first-round pick for Sam Hubbard. Can we get a third-round pick for Sam Hubbard? No. Okay. I guess I misjudged the value of Sam Hubbard. Can we get a second-round pick in next year's draft? This is kind of crazy. I thought that Sam Hubbard would have a slightly better value. Let's see. What if I give a 2026 third-round pick? That does a little bit. I bet a second-round pick would take it into the green. Oh, that got really, really close. Okay, so Sam Hubbard in a second-round pick from 2026 could get us 2 second-round picks in 2025. No, okay, that value. You see how much that value changed? That's crazy. What about if I give them a 7th-round pick this year? That is accepted. So Sam Hubbard in a 2026 second plus a 7th this year gets us the Bears' one of the Bears' second-round picks next year. Okay. That's good. I mean, we have 2 second-round picks next year, which is nice. That'll come into play. But now the more important part is Myles Murphy gets to start now. That's going to be huge because he's probably only going to have star development, but he's got a brighter future than Hubbard does at the in the rebuild. So that's going to be the only move that we make. I'm going to simulate to the end of the season, and we will see where this Cincinnati Bengals. Actually, you know what? I'm going to simulate to the midseason mark for the first year, and we'll see where we go from there. Prospects, a top 5 outside linebacker, a top 5 corner I like. I don't need a quarterback. Another pass rusher could be interesting, excuse me. Okay. I don't really know what we're going to draft this year. Region breakdown, wide receiver and corner. I'll probably change my scout to be that. So let's fire Bobby Simmons. Sorry about your luck, big boy. And then we will go wide receiver, corner, because we could use corner probably. So Alicia Trinkle, I always sign her as our 3-star scout, don't I? National, and then we have, there we go, perfect. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what plays out. I will catch you guys at the midseason mark of year number 1, and we'll see where this Bengals team goes. All right, midseason mark, we are 4-2. We have to play the 7-0 49ers, which is not good. I like where we're at right now, being 4-2. I think we're in a good spot. I'm not going to make any other moves. I do want to see if Myles Murphy's played enough to reveal his development trait. I'm assuming it's only star, and it is. But he's up to a 74 overall, crucially, so he's gone up in overall already. DJ Turner also is only star, not too bad. I'm guessing if we continue to play well, next season he could take over Mike Hilton's spot. Same deal with Cam Taylor-Britt. He could go up to number 3. And if we can draft that corner this year in the draft, that would help out a lot. I don't think we're going to be in a spot to do that. Mock draft number 2 has the corner going in the 4th spot to the Jaguars. I don't know if that'll be where it ends up. The Jaguars usually perform pretty well, so they'll probably win a bunch of games and get out of that spot. But right now, that's where he's going to go. Negotiations for the midseason mark. Awuzie wants to be back, and I want him back, so we will sign him, and we have over $100 million. So a 3-year deal, take him to his early 30s. If we can get him for $5 million, I think that's going to be good. It's a solid contract, and he is going to come back to the Cincinnati Bengals. That's our number 1 corner for right now. DJ Reader, I also want back. I'll do a 3-year deal, so that gets him off of the same projections as Awuzie, so they don't come up for the contract at the same time. But if we could lower this a little bit, I would like that. That's a lot of money for a 30-year-old D tackle, but I think it's going to help us out in the long run. And DJ Reader signed. Trenton Irwin is interesting. Joe Bocci, same deal. We signed basically the 2 important guys right there. I don't think we need Trenton Irwin. He wants to be here, though. I don't want to waste the money on him, though, do I? Do I want to waste the money on Trenton Irwin? A 2-year deal, 2.5, 1.5. If he signs it, awesome. Okay, perfect. He's coming back. $67 million. Joe Bocci can walk. Cody Ford can walk. Both of these guards, or both of these other players can walk. We don't need any backups like that. Okay, so we still have a good amount of money for free agency year 1. I like that. And our national focus is probably going to be corner, because we're in a good spot with receivers, so I'd say corner is more of a need. So we will go with that. And hopefully we'll find some really good corners down the board. Okay, so we signed everybody we need to sign. Excuse me, we signed everybody. Oh, man. Don't know what happened there. We signed everybody we needed to sign, and we saw what we need to do in the draft. So we're going to simulate to the end of the season, figure out where this team goes in year 1, and then get ready for maybe the playoffs if we win the division, or get ready for the offseason if we don't. Season 1's finished. We finish with 12-5 record. Won the division just barely, beating the Ravens 11-6. I like the way this team is building in year one. Obviously, we have a lot of franchise pieces around the board. Burrow, obviously, Higgins, Jamar Chase, Higgins. We just need to get that offensive line. If we can figure out this offensive line pretty soon, we should win a Super Bowl. That's pretty much the only thing holding us back, I would guess. And on the defensive side of things, crucially, Myles Murphy has gone up 3 overall to a 76. I really think he's going to blossom in the next couple of seasons. Same deal with DJ Turner. He's going to take over that spot pretty much from Mike Hilton. And then Cam Taylor-Britt's going to be right behind him. We need to get a new strong safety. I do like Jordan Battle, rookie from Alabama. He's probably going to take over as the starting strong safety next season. And he probably, honestly, should be the strong safety right now, if we're being totally honest. He's better than Scott. So Jordan Battle will be the strong safety. Daxton Hill. I think we possibly could have our safeties figured out. Jordan Battle and Daxton Hill I really, really like as a combo. I think they could be our safeties for the future or for this rebuild. Defensive line I like, especially adding Myles Murphy as development. Corners, I like 4 of our corners. I like 3 of our corners. Mike Hilton is a little bit iffy. Defensive line I like. And then on offense, I obviously like everything other than the offensive line here. I'm surprised that Orlando Brown didn't go up in overall. At least by 1 or something. Stats on the season here. How did everybody do year one? Joe Burrow probably did pretty well, and he did. 3,900 yards. A little bit low on the yards, but it is what it is. 31 touchdowns, 6 picks. That's a pretty good season from Burrow. 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns for Joe Mixon. Solid, and you saw that he went up a couple overalls as well. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins didn't get over 1,000 yards, but they got close, especially Higgins. 997 with 8 touchdowns. Chase, 927 with 6 touchdowns. Boyd actually had 9 touchdowns. Okay, so Tyler Boyd getting a lot of usage. Interesting. And then on the defensive side of things, Jermaine Pratt had 122 tackles, led the team. Logan Wilson, 121, and then it drops off a lot, which it usually does. Mike Hilton, 79. Taylor Britt had 75. Tackle for loss leader was B.J. Hill with 17 as the backup D tackle. Good for him. Trey Henderson, 13. Logan Wilson, 10. Then sack leader was Hendrickson with 9. Okay. Glad we didn't trade him. 7.5 for B.J. Hill, 4 for Reeder and Pratt. Myles Murphy, 49 tackles, 5 for loss, 2.5 sacks. That's a solid enough rookie year for his overall. That's good production. Logan Wilson, 3 picks, 2 for Taylor Britt and Daxton Hill, 1 for a bunch of other guys. All right. That is our season 1. We did make the playoffs. We're the number 2 seed, I would think. If we're 12-5 and didn't win and didn't get the 1 seed. Yeah, Chiefs are the 1 seed, as you would expect. But they are going to be tough. They are going to be tough. Going against the Broncos, they're 9-8. We should pretty much walk by them, I would guess. And we do. We take on the other 12-5 Jets. Wow. The Jets go 12-5 in year 1, make the playoffs as probably the 3 seed because they won the division. Very interesting. This AFC looks to be pretty tough this year. Pretty tough this year. It's going to be Chiefs, Bills, Jets, and Bengals, and then Niners, Cowboys, Packers, Eagles. That's a lot of big names in the playoffs. We'll see what happens. Jets, Bengals, both 12-5. I don't know what's going to happen here. It could be a win. It could be a loss. It could go either way. It's a win, 31-14 over the 12-5 Jets. The Bengals are in the AFC title game against probably their biggest rival outside of the division. It is the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 14-3. This is not going to be easy by any means. The Chiefs are unbeatable in simulation sometimes. And it's going to be Niners-Eagles on the other side of the bracket. This is going to get crazy. 1 versus 3, 1 versus 2. Let's find out. Biggest game of the season, Bengals-Chiefs. AFC title game. It's a toss-up, man. It's probably a loss. It's a win! 21-17 over the Chiefs. The Bengals are in the Super Bowl in year number 1. I shouldn't be super shocked because I told you guys before that the Bengals usually simulate pretty well, so it's not going to be that difficult of a rebuild. Same kind of deal with the Cowboys, that when we rebuild them. But this is crazy. I didn't think we'd get past the Chiefs, that is for sure. And now we take on the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to jump in and see if we can win this Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not going to end the video after 1 season because I haven't really done anything except for trade Sam Hubbard. We'll go a couple more years if we win one. Obviously, we're going to go a couple more if we lose. Let's let's find out. We can't think that way. We got to think we're going to win this Super Bowl. Let's go get it. It is the year 1 Super Bowl, and we are taking on the San Francisco 49ers, who lead 14-0. We pull back 7-14, 14-7. 21-10 now, 21-13, 21-20 into the third quarter, 23-21. Things are getting a little bit crazy here. 26-21. Oh, the defense has really stepped up. It's 28-21 now. We've gotten it back to a touchdown lead. The defense has stepped up, and they punt the football back to us. They're using their timeouts. It's 1st and 10. That's got to be ball game, right? Oh, we got a first down. It's ball game. It is absolute, utter ball game. The Cincinnati Bengals, in year number 1 of the rebuild, have won a Super Bowl. So we've done it. We've rebuilt the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, I'm going to go at least 2 more seasons just to put my stamp on things. But this is happening a lot more recently. What was the rebuild a couple of videos ago that I did where we won in year 1? Oh, I have to check. Hold on. What was the rebuild that I did where we won? Was it the Cowboys? It wasn't the Colts. The only rebuilds I've done recently were the 2015 Bucks. It wasn't them. Was it the Cowboys? That's the most recent rebuild I've done. Like this style of rebuild. It could have been the Seahawks. Was it the Seahawks? It might have been the Seahawks. I don't remember. Huh, that's crazy. Whatever. I know there's been one recently where we won it in year 1 and then we went a couple more seasons afterwards. I don't remember. Whatever. It is happened here. It has happened here. We are Super Bowl champions at the end of season 1. I told you that the Bengals simulate pretty well. So that's awesome. But I'm going to go a couple more seasons to put my stamp on things and to make it an actual rebuild where we add young players and all that kind of good stuff, the traditional rebuild stuff. So let's go see who won MVP and all that kind of stuff. Tyler Boyd is the MVP of the Super Bowl. Very weird, but okay. It's your typical guys for the awards. Mahomes wins MVP of the league. He also wins MVP or Offensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald wins Defensive Player of the Year. Rashee Rice and Jalen Carter are the Rookies of the Year. So it's your typical people winning all the typical awards. It's time now to go to free agency because we re-signed everybody we needed to re-sign during the season. So we don't have any other negotiations that we have to deal with. We should just be able to go right to free agency, hopefully add a couple offensive linemen. That would be really helpful right off the bat. If we could add a couple offensive linemen, not have to worry about the draft for offensive linemen. Joe Bacci, Cody Ford, yeah, or Joe Bacci, I guess. I don't really want any of those guys back. We made that decision already. Let's advance to free agent period 1, and we will go see what is on the table. Who is available to sign in year 1 here? We got Micah Hyde, don't need him. Kareem Hunt, don't need him. Byron Jones is interesting, but don't need him. Chandler Jones. Let's see. Let's go straight to maybe wide receiver. Robbie Chosen. I'm not going to get KJ Hamler. Trust me, I've gotten KJ Hamler a bunch of times. I'm not going to do it again. We could go for Juju Smith. That could be interesting. I might do that, actually. Offer a little 4-year deal to Juju. I know he's almost 30 at this point, but he could be a nice 4th receiver for this Bengals offense. Tight end, there's nobody better than what we have already. And then offensive line. We don't need a left tackle. Left guard, there's nobody better than what we have. Center, same deal. Trey Turner, 31. I don't like that. I think we're just going to have to go to the draft. I was hoping there might be like somebody that's like 84 overall, 29, 30, something like that. I was wrong. Defensive line, there's not going to be anybody here. Dorrance Armstrong at 77, but he's just not going to play. I have Miles Murphy that I like. I have Trey Henderson that I like. He's just not going to play, so there's no reason bringing him in. Outside linebacker, probably not going to play any of these guys either. I think it might only be Juju that we signed because I don't think any of these guys have any future on the team, really. Maybe we go for another corner. Maybe like Jeff Okudah. He's usually a guy that I go for, that's for sure. We could go for Kelvin Joseph. I feel like we always go for Kelvin Joseph or Jeff Okudah. Let's go for Kelvin Joseph because he's younger than Okudah, I think. I'm pretty sure he is. So we'll offer him a contract, and those will be the 2 signings, hopefully, that we get. So let's go to our targeted. Kelvin Joseph, Juju Smith-Schuster, they both signed, and they both signed with us. Perfect. So we get another receiver and another corner added to the team. Unfortunately, no offensive lineman, but that's okay. Just wasn't anybody there that I wanted. All right, so Juju comes in, and he's already the number 4 receiver. I like that. Offense is looking good. Any development trade upgrades? I don't think so. Not on offense, at least. La'el Collins will start at right tackle. And then on defense, it looks like B.J. Hill got up to star. And then Joseph is right there. DJ Hayden is going to be cornerback number 2. Cam Taylor-Britt is going to be cornerback number 3. And honestly, Kelvin Joseph is probably going to be cornerback number 4. Mike Hilton's just going to fall down the board a little bit, or fall down the depth chart. Miles Murphy's playing up to a 79. Love that. Davis Gaither, Pratt, Wilson are all playing well. I don't really even know. Jordan Battle's going up. The team is good. The defending champs are good. We need to focus on that offensive line. We're going to see where we are picking in the draft. Well, we know where we're picking in the draft. We're picking the last pick in the draft. But we need to see who's projected. Do we need to trade up? What's going to be the deal here in the draft? I don't really know. We scouted as National Scout as corner. But now that we brought in Kelvin Joseph, that's not as much of a need as it once would have been. I think offensive line is the need at this point, and maybe a tight end, because everybody else I like. I even like Akeem Davis-Gaither at this point. So I think we just focus on offensive line, draft a bunch of them in this draft, maybe draft a tight end, and we're good to go because we brought in Juju. That's 4 amazing receivers. I think we're solid. Let's take a look at who they have us taking. The corner is a true top 5 guy. We're just not going to be in play for him. I would really like him. They have us taking an outside linebacker, Will Whitley. I don't think that's going to be what we do. Is he good? 6'3" power rusher. Not the greatest athlete. He's probably not the guy for us. Oh, we need to go for offensive lineman probably. We need to go for offensive lineman. Let's take a look at this of the prospects. So let's go for guards first. There's a round 1 to 2 guy, Donovan Woodyard. Looks solid. He's a really good pass blocker, which is what we need with the receiving talent that we have. Russell Stanton, round 1 to 2 guy. Not as good of an athlete, but maybe a better overall player than Woodard. I'll put those 2 guys on the board so we can keep a track on them. Anthony Dickinson, not as good of an athlete, solid player. And then it drops to round 2 to 3. Kenya Clemens from, what was that, Coastal Carolina? South Carolina. Physical athlete. Could be a decent pass blocker. We don't know for sure. Okay, we'll look at Landry York, who is okay. Okay. So there could be some good guards. Center, it's 1 guy in the first round, George Doris, and then it's not really a bunch else, which is sometimes how it happens for these auto-generated draft classes. We'll keep an eye on him. Is there a good guy for the value? J.D. Goodard? He's probably normal development, but we'll keep an eye on him. Right guards, you got Roy Flynn, who is a pretty good athlete and a solid player. We'll keep an eye on him. Gilbert Cooper out of TCU, good athlete, good pass blocker, could be a good run blocker. Then you got Niles Hicks. 6'5" at guard is kind of crazy. We can move him to a tackle. He could be solid. I think we might use one of our private workouts on him. He looks interesting. And then we got this guy, Connor Whitfield, who is only 6'2", right? I'm taller than this guy. 6'2", 315. Could be solid. There's a lot of guys that could be good. A lot of speculation right now. And then right tackle, you got Keontae Johnson, 6'6". looks good, and he's a round 1 talent, or he's a round 1 projection, so to be expected. I keep hitting that when I want to hit that. Alex Walker's up next. He's a round 2 to 3 guy. He's 6'7", and he could be okay. Then you got Felix Newhouse, 6'4", not as good, but maybe a value pick down the board in the 3rd round. Lance Hamilton. He doesn't look that great, but we'll keep an eye on him. There's some offensive linemen in this class. I think that's going to be the only things that we draft. I didn't take a look at tight ends, did I? Okay, when we go to the private workouts thing, I'll take a look at tight ends. So let's take a peek skis at the tight ends. Round 2 to 3 is the first guy, Tyson Lindsey. He's got pretty good athleticism. Tyson Lindsey is intriguing. And then you got George Boyd out of Notre Dame, a Golden Domer. Not as good. I think that it's really only this guy, Tyson Lindsey. And I might use one of my things on him just so that I can figure out how good he is. All right, who was the other guy that I wanted to use? It was... What was his name? I think it was Niles Hicks. Yeah, Niles Hicks I wanted to use one on. And then we should probably use another one on one of these offensive guards. Probably Woodard, I would guess. Let's do it on Woodard. So those are going to be the 3 guys that we use our private workouts on. We have a clear mission. It's going to be either a bunch of offensive linemen, or it's going to be a bunch of offensive linemen and a tight end. Because I kind of think that Lindsey guy is the best tight end available. I don't know if he's going to have a development trait, but he could be good. Let's go to the draft and hold on. Let me quickly go to the mock drafts and see if they had anybody of those guys going earlier. They were around 1 to 2 talents, but were they predicted to go higher? There's Keontae Johnson, so we'll be out on him. George Doris will be out on. That's not a big deal. And then that's it. Okay, so only a couple guys, but guys that I wasn't super in on in the first place. That's not that big of a deal. Okay, let's go to the draft and start drafting, see what happens here. Bears have the number 1 overall pick. Shocker. They take Roderick Shepard with the number 1 overall pick. Andrew Smith goes number 2 to the Jags, and we will skip to our pick. All right. Here we go. Offensive line. The tight end should be there, and he is. I'm actually going to probably take him here because I don't think he's going to make it to round... He's probably not going to make it to round 2, the final pick of the of 2nd round. But neither would Donovan Woodard, and I do like Donovan Woodard. Donovan Woodard looks pretty good. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. Woodard certainly doesn't make it. The tight end probably doesn't make it either. But I think this is a pick where we have to grab Donovan Woodard. Big pickup. Ooh, hidden development as well on the offensive line. That's solid. He probably starts right away at left guard. Donovan Woodard, final pick in the 3rd round, or the 1st round, excuse me. We might need to trade into the 2nd round to get that tight end. Where is he projected to go in terms of the draft board? He is still fairly down the board because there's a lot of round 1 talent still left on there. So he's 28th right now. He has a slight chance to make it to us, but also that doesn't mean anything because any team at any point could trade or could draft him because teams are known to reach. And because I've spoken into the universe that I want him, that means that the CPU will automatically take him before me because that's just how it works. So we'll see what happens. I don't want to skip too far because I don't want to give up the opportunity to trade. But also, if I skip a little bit further, I'm risking every single time the fact that he could get traded or he could get drafted here. All right, we are into the 20s now. Pick 20 by the Rams. There's still a lot of guys ahead of him, but not as many anymore. I think this is probably the time. I don't want to risk it any longer. I know he probably doesn't get drafted until a couple of picks later, and he might not even get drafted at all. This might just be me being paranoid, but I think that he is going to be a good player, so we're going to try to trade up with the Rams. I didn't use my staff points to make it easier to trade up, which is unfortunate, but we should still be able to get it done. So we trade pick 64 for pick 52. That is close. I could probably trade a player, actually. They need a left tackle, but I'm not going to give them a left tackle. They need a corner. This could be the Mike Hilton trade. We've been looking for a possibility to get rid of Mike Hilton. He's gotten down the board a lot, so hold on. Can I just give him for Mike Hilton? Okay, I probably could have got a lot more for that, actually. Or not a lot more, but a little bit more. Mike Hilton straight up for a second-round pick. So he goes to L.A. We now have 2 second-round picks, so that's awesome. And I will grab... Ooh. I could grab one of these corners and still possibly be able to get... Oh. I could grab one of the corners and still possibly get the tight end. Oh, I can make something crazy happen here. This guy looks pretty good. David Sears. We could replace Mike Hilton with this pick. But do we need to replace Mike Hilton? That's the question. Probably not, honestly. Oh, we probably don't need to replace him because we just signed Kelvin Joseph. So we have 4 corners that I like. I think we're good. I think we're going to take the tight end, Tyson Lindsey, hidden development, 86 speed, 91 excel, 88 agility. I mean, he looks pretty good. He's our new starting tight end. And we still have our pick in the end of the second round. I was able to keep it. So we will see who falls to us. There goes Sears. There goes Whitley. So he would have even been gone. Oh, I know. He was ready to go first round to us. So we will get to our pick here. The 49ers have 2 picks at the back of the second round. Very interesting. Damian Bailey and then Amir Davis. So now here's our second round pick. Eric Brooks is here, but we know he's a day 3 guy. Frank Young is around 3 to 4 true talent. I don't like that. Let's go back to the offensive line and see what we have. So we've got Landry York. We've got Niles Hicks, who's still here. And it looks like it didn't up his completion. That's kind of annoying. So this is probably going to be either Niles Hicks or Connor Whitfield. I think Niles Hicks looks a little bit better, so we're going to grab him. And he is hidden development, 89 strength, 82 acceleration, 6'5". We can move him to right tackle. If we draft another guard in the 3rd round, we can move him to right tackle. He'd be just fine. So let's skip to pick 32 in the 3rd round. We'll see what's on our board. And it's just J.D. Goddard. Okay. Well, I guess we'll take him. He's a day 3 guy. He's also hidden development. Okay. So that's a big-time pickup. He's probably going to be a low overall, but that's a big-time pickup at center to have hidden development. So we've gotten ourselves 3 offensive linemen and a tight end. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. We're probably not going to be able to get much out of these if we trade these picks. So we'll just continue to maybe look for some people. Victor Hendricks, decent speed, probably a normal development player. Who else is here? Let me go to the corners because there could be somebody here. Ooh, here we go. See, there's around 3 to 4 talent projection or true talent. Rasheem Wolford. He's almost guaranteed to be normal development, but I'm going to take him anyway. And he's hidden development. Rasheem Wolford, 94 acceleration, 89 speed. The drafting god has returned, ladies and gentlemen. That's a huge pickup. That is a huge pickup, and that's our Mike Hilton replacement. I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest of the draft. I think we came out with a money draft. Absolutely killed that draft. Pretty much solidified our offensive line. And got a new tight end, a starting tight end, and we filled all the holes. I came in with a shopping list of needs, things that we needed to fill, and we pretty much did all of that. Woodard is a 73, Lindsey's a 74, Hicks is a 75. So if I wouldn't have traded Mike Hilton to get up to 20, we wouldn't have got Hicks probably. So that's kind of crazy. 75 for Hicks, 71 for Goodard. The rest of the guys are a little bit low. They took Victor Hendricks, okay. The rest of the guys are a little bit low, but that's okay. They'll develop. They will develop. Best player in the class was Daniel Reese, free safety. Went 7th overall to the Patriots. Love to see it. The corner was the second player in the class with a 78. Okay. We came away with some good players, some development trait players, which is awesome. And we filled all the holes. I'm an expert at filling holes, and I certainly did that right there. Year number 2, the defending Super Bowl champions arguably got even better. Let's go generate the best lineup and see what the team looks like here in year number 2. So, we now sit with, we need to make this difference. So, Sampa will start at fullback, and then Lindsey will start at tight end. We have 4 good receivers. We have a center that's going to need a little bit of time to start. We need to change Hicks to a right tackle so that he can not start over Lyle Collins, but replace Lyle Collins. So we'll do that. And he is a 73, so he goes down a little bit, but that's perfectly fine because he'll be good anyway. So the offense looks a lot better now. Woodard's going to start right away at guard over Volson. It's going to take Goodard. I have Goodard and Woodard. Oh, that's going to be confusing. Kappa's okay. We've got Hicks as a backup Hicks. And then on defense, we like the team. Wolford goes right in as a backup there. I like the team a lot. I really, really do. I think we're going to be pretty good. And obviously, we won the Super Bowl this past season, so we'll see what happens here. I will catch you guys. You know what? I'll catch you guys at the end of season 2. We don't need to go to the midseason mark anymore. It's not going to be that important. Year number 1 is really the most important season for drafting, especially after you've already won a Super Bowl. So I'm going to see you guys at the end of season number 2 with the results. Season 2 is wrapped up, and we won the division, got the number 1 seed this time. 14-3. This team just continues to absolutely kill it in simulation. I love how this team has turned out, even though I haven't really done too much except for fix the offensive line and get ourselves a tight end. The rest has just been what the Bengals were. And then Joe Burrow, I mean, it helps when you have a guy like Joe Burrow. I mean, are you kidding me? 4,300 yards, 43 touchdowns, 6 picks with a 74% completion percentage. It doesn't get much better than a quarterback like Joe Burrow. There's very few quarterbacks you would take ahead of Burrow. Obviously, Mahomes would be the number 1. But there's not many more you would take over Joe Burrow. He's just phenomenal. Joe Mixon, 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns. Another really solid season, even better than what he had last year. Maybe that'll mean he goes up to superstar development. That would be awesome. Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd both go over 1,000 yards, 1,400 for Jamar Chase with 16 touchdowns. If he wasn't already an X Factor, he would certainly be one for next season. Tyler Boyd could be superstar. That's probably not good enough to go to superstar, though. 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. It's a good season, but it's probably not enough to get a development trade upgrade. T. Higgins kind of took a step back. I don't know why. I don't know why Tyler Boyd would have more catches and more yards and stuff than Higgins, but whatever. And then the rookie, 574 yards with 7 touchdowns. That's a good year for a tight end that probably doesn't get featured as much as he would if we were in Kansas City's offense. And then defensively, Logan Wilson reclaims his throne as the tackle leader with 131. Jermaine Pratt, 125. Jordan Battle, 91. Okay, Jordan Battle, I see you out here. Cam Taylor-Britt, 84. Awuzie, 83. Trey Hendrickson led the team with tackles for loss with 21. B.J. Hill had 15. 13 for DJ Reader. Pratt had 11. Sack leader was B.J. Hill with 7.5. But then Miles Murphy. Okay. Miles Murphy with 4 sacks. Reader 3.5. Pick leader was Awuzie with 5. That's why we re-signed him. That's the production we want. 2 for Daxton Hill, 1 for a couple other guys. So those are your numbers. Those are your numbers for the Bengals in year number 2. We take on the division rivals Ravens, who always do well in simulation. And we beat them 28-21. We take on the Buffalo Bills in the AFC title game. Back-to-back AFC championships for the Cincinnati Bengals, AFC Championship appearances for the Bengals. Last year, we played the Chiefs. This year, we play the Bills. The Bills actually beat the Chiefs 35-10. Wow, okay. In Kansas City as well. It's Bills, Bengals, and Niners, Cowboys. It could very well be a rematch of Bengals, Niners. That's a possibility. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's very tough, very unlikely. But, I mean, Joe Burrow's playing up to a 98 overall. We're looking pretty good. Woodard's a star development player. Love to see it. Lindsey's doing well. Tyler Boyd's 85 overall right now. Juju's even playing up. I like it. I like the team. I think we can get back to the Super Bowl. Bills, Bengals for a trip to the Super Bowl. Here we go. And it's a victory. The Bengals are back-to-back AFC champions, and we will have a rematch with the San Francisco 49ers for a chance to win 2 straight Super Bowls. It's Bengals, it's Niners. This is crazy. And since it's Super Bowl week, that means development trade upgrades should have happened, right? Or does it happen after the Super Bowl? I think it happens at Super Bowl week. And it does! Lindsey is a superstar development tight end now. That looks like an unbelievable pickup now. Oh, that's huge. Okay, superstar development. Defensively, Jermaine Pratt and Awuzie are star. Davis Gaither's star. Jordan Battle is star. Oh, the development is coming, boys. The development is coming. Jermaine Pratt with superstar development's huge. Awuzie gets superstar development. These 2 guys right here are absolutely massive, getting development trade upgrade as well. And Miles Murphy's an 80 overall, playing up to an 82. So that ends up looking like a smart pickup, or a smart trade in year 1 to trade Hubbard. Sucks that I had to trade a Buckeye, but I had to get Miles Murphy. He just had too much potential to not have him start right away. And look what's happening to him. He's becoming a really, really good player. But it's time for a Super Bowl. Bengals-Niners, a rematch of last year. Can we have the same result? I sure as heck hope so. The year 2 Super Bowl is upon us. We won last year's against this same Niners team, but I think we're even better than we were last year. But the Niners putting up 2 touchdowns in a row. I don't like that. They go up by 10. We get back 17. 24-24. Okay. Into the 3rd quarter now. We take the lead 31-24. Come on, defense. Defense can't do anything. It's 31-31. Punt the ball back to the Niners. They punt the ball back to us. Come on, Bengals. There we go. We're driving. 4th and 6. I think we could kick the field goal here. No, we punt the ball back to the Niners. Wait, we have the ball back? What happened? Hold on. What just happened? Fumble. Oh no, we did kick the field goal. Evan McPherson kicked a 54-yarder, but he got blocked. And then the next play was a fumble recovery by Chidobe Awuzie. Oh my God. I think that might have just clinched it, but we didn't get it. What happened? No. What happened at the 4th quarter? Hold on. What happened? Why did we not do anything there? Awuzie fumbled it, or got the recovery. Jamar Chase passed to, or Joe Burrow passed to Jamar Chase, and then a couple of runs. We mismanaged the clock. What are we doing? Oh, I should have jumped in. I didn't think I had to. I thought they would kick the field goal and we win the game. Oh, but that's huge. That's huge. 1st and goal. Touchdown, Bengals. We just need to stop the Niners. 2nd and 11, 3rd and 5. Are we going to be able to stop the 49ers? They have 2 timeouts and a chance to lose this game right here. The Bengals could be back-to-back champions. Knock that down. Awuzie doesn't get there. It's going to be Brandon Ayuk. 1st down for the 49ers. They probably shouldn't be in here. I'm hindering our chance to win, aren't I? I'm gonna jump a few plays, but it's not gonna matter. It's 3rd and 5. It's 4th and 4 from the 26-yard line. Oh my God. 1 play to win the Super Bowl. Under a minute. He's gonna catch it. He stays in bound, or he stays up. Gets the 1st down, but they are under a minute. They have to they have to score a touchdown here, ladies and gentlemen. A field goal does nothing for them. They have 2 timeouts still, so 30 seconds. They are really wasting time. They are not managing the clock very well. Trey Hendrickson forces a bad throw. 24 seconds to glory for Cincinnati in overtime of the Super Bowl. Not many Super Bowls make it to overtime. This one could be one for the record books. Hendrickson spins through. Purdy, end zone, caught, but not a touch. It is a touchdown. Oh, I didn't think he got it. Alec Pierce of all people. Alec Pierce of all people. Absolutely insane. We are in double overtime now. We kicked the field goal, and Evan McPherson has given the Cincinnati Bengals a 2nd straight Super Bowl. I mean, what is left to do at this point? We've won 2 straight Super Bowls. This is the best rebuild I've ever done. That one was a lot closer than the first one. Let's just say that. But Joe Burrow and the boys are 2-time Super Bowl champions, 2 in a row. The dynasty is here. The dynasty is here. You know what? I will go one more year. We'll head into year number 3, try to do a three-peat. But at this point, this has already been a tremendous success. And that man right there is the franchise. He's the mayor of Cincinnati at this point. If Joe Burrow won 2 Super Bowls if he won 1 Super Bowl for Cincinnati, he would be the mayor of Cincinnati. But if he won 2 Super Bowls for the Cincinnati Bengals, he could literally murder somebody on the doorstep of the county building, like of the mayor's office, and he would get scot-free. He would get off scot-free because 2 Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? He could kill somebody in broad daylight and not have to worry about anything. That's how beloved he would be in Cincinnati if he won 2 Super Bowls in a row. Oh my God, that is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. The boys are back. And we still have cap room. I mean, we can make some big moves in the free agent period and go crazy in the draft. I mean, we have 2 second-round picks again this year. So we are looking good. Burrow wins MVP of the Super Bowl. Mahomes is MVP of the league. Saquon and Chris Jones are the players of the year. Brett Garvin, wide receiver for the Cowboys, and Gio Vasher, D-tackle for the Cardinals, are your rookies of the year. But back-to-back champs, 28-21, 48-30, 41-38. Double overtime. Evan McPherson sealed it. Talk about getting whatever you want. Evan McPherson, 2 double overtime game-winning field goal in the Super Bowl. Doesn't have to buy anything for himself in the city of Cincinnati ever again. He could just walk into a bar, say, I'm freaking Evan McPherson, and he gets everything for free. We will accept the option on Daxton Hill and not bring back anybody else. It's going to be our rookies or our second-year guys' opportunity. Ted Karras is starting to regress, and I probably wasn't going to bring him back anyway, even if he wasn't going to regress. But let's go to the offseason and see what's available to sign. We don't really need anything else except for maybe just some backups, I guess. And there's not really anything for us in the first place. Quarterback, we don't need. Running back, Jaylen Warren as a backup would be kind of cool. I might do that. 3-year deal. I mean, we don't need anything specifically, so spending some money is not a bad thing. And to get a solid backup for Joe Mixon is awesome. Wide receiver, we have 4 good ones, so we don't need any wide receivers. Tight ends, we obviously have the second-year man, Lindsey, so we don't have to worry about tight end. But getting a guy like Albert O to back him up is not a bad thing, especially because Irv Smith is probably not going to be anything for us. So getting Irv Smith, I told you, just getting backups is really the point of this one. Left tackle, there's nobody there. Left guard, Andrew Norwell, probably not. Center, I mean, we could go for David Andrews, but at this point, I might as well just let the center, the young center start. What was his name? Goddard? J.D. Goddard, I think is his name. We might as well just let him go and have himself the start for season 3. It's going to be the final season anyway, so it doesn't matter. Logan Hall at 25 and 73 is definitely somebody I have my eye on because he's not going to start, but he's good young depth. That is for sure. So we will add him to our offers. D-tackle, I like what we have. Right end, we don't need. Left outside linebacker, Jack Sanborn, but it's only normal. If he had star, I would go after him, but normal, probably not the right idea. Deion Jones is old. Right outside linebacker, probably not. Corner, there's Mike Hilton. But we're good on corner as well. Safeties, we're good on. Strong safeties, we're good. Yeah, we're fine. Those are going to be the only targets we make. Jaylen Warren, Albert O, Logan Hall. They all signed, and they all signed with us. Huge pickups. Couple backups. Love to see it. Let's go generate the best lineup and see what this team's going to look like here headed into the draft. So Goodard will start at center. Woodard will start at left guard. Hicks will probably start. We should probably start him at tackle, shouldn't we, over Lyle Collins? I think we will. So Hicks, all 3 of our draft picks will start on the offensive line. Juju will get moved back up to number 4 receiver because he should already be. And then on defense, having Akeem Davis-Gaither and Jordan Battle get star development's actually big. And then we add Logan Hall to back up Miles Murphy, Joseph Asai's backing up Trey Hendrickson. We got good D tackles, good linebacking core. Yeah, we're pretty good. Wilfred has star development, so that's nice. Yeah. This team's good. I can see why this team is 2-time Super Bowl champions in this video. So let's get to the draft. We have the final pick in the first round, but then we have 2 second-round picks. I wonder where that other second-round pick is going to be, because it was the Chicago Bears all the way back in season 1 that we traded with when we traded Sam Hubbard away. So that second-round pick has a chance to be pretty good. I don't know what the Bears did in the season. I guess we could take a look at the standings. The Steelers went 2-15. So the Bears finished 6-11. So that draft pick, that second round pick is going to be pretty high in the second round. That is awesome. Okay, so that's what happens when you trade with the Chicago Bears. You got to keep that in mind. You got to trade with the Chicago Bears. You got to trade with the Cardinals are usually pretty bad. The teams that are usually bad, the Patriots are always up there for some reason. Well, not for some reason, they suck. Mock draft number 5 has Juan Elliott going number 1 to the Steelers. No surprise there. They have us taking a D tackle, Caleb Noel. Okay, is he good? He's 6'4", 310. Pretty good athlete. For once, they actually have somebody projected that I wouldn't mind taking. He's not that bad. He'd be good depth behind Reeder and BJ Hill. He's not that bad of a pickup. That is for sure. My scout is interior offensive line, defensive tackle, but I think I accidentally forgot to do the week 8 focus scouting, so we don't have defense tackle scouted all the way. We do have this guy. For some reason, Jamel Teague is all the way up to 100%, but everybody else is 50%. I actually forgot about that, so that's on me, but it's not a big deal. Caleb Noel doesn't look that bad. I'm kind of interested in him. He could certainly be a guy for us. That is for sure. I don't even know where we go. I don't think we need to trade up. I think we just let it ride with whatever comes to us in the draft is what we get, and we see what happens. I am gonna go and put one of those on Caleb Noel just to figure out how good he actually is. And then what else do we need? I mean, at this point, we don't really need anything, do we? We probably need offensive line more than anything, and we're still pretty good there. There's a center that we need to look a little bit more into. And then there is... We'll look into this right guard, Darrell Taylor. Okay, so those will be the guys that we use the private workouts on. Let's get to the draft and figure out where the chips lie. We gotta see what we gotta see. All right, let's start drafting. Bada bing, bada boom. Steelers have the number 1 overall pick. They should take that pass rusher, and they do. Juan Elliott. We have the 32nd pick in the draft. I don't think I'm going to trade up. I don't think I need to, because they projected Caleb Noel to come to us. And I think that would be... I wouldn't be mad taking him. I don't know if he's going to be a development trade or not, but he looks like a really good player. And we're only going 1 more year, so he's not going to have that big of an impact anyway. So this draft really doesn't matter. Let's just simulate to our pick and see what is on the board for us. All right, so we got Caleb Noel still available, which I probably will take. This quarterback, Alani Shepard, 6'1", 227 out of Stanford. Not the greatest athlete, but he's got the good accuracies. If we need a quarterback, I wouldn't be opposed to taking him. Let me just make sure that everybody on the offensive line that I wanted is still available. Yeah, Sean Suckanek? No, okay. It's Skukanek. I thought it was Suckanek for a second. I was like, hold on. Wait a minute. But I'm pretty sure it's Skukanek. There might be a pronunciation that I'm screwing up there, obviously. But he is still on the board. He's around 3 to 4. We can definitely grab him. I think we're going to take that D tackle. He looks pretty solid. So he might not be a development trait. He is. 88 strength, 84 acceleration. Caleb Noel, welcome to the team. Another Golden Domer added to the roster. All right. We have pick 26 in the second round, so the Bears pickup ends up not being that good, but that's all right. We'll see what's available at 26. And then we have pick 32, obviously. All right, so let's see what we have here. Alani Walton is available. The center's still available, and Darrell Taylor's still available. I think this is the grab for Darrell Taylor. We take him. He's development trait, right guard, 84 strength. All right, and then with our second round pick, we'll take the center. I know he's round 3 to 4, but we might as well not waste any time. We'll pick him up, and then I'll use my 3rd round pick on something, and then we'll simulate out of the draft. So let's grab ourselves Sean Skukanek. Center, hidden development, 90 strength, 81 acceleration, 78 jumping. I don't know what that does for an offensive lineman, but that's huge. All right. I haven't missed on an offensive lineman this rebuild. I feel validated. The drafting god status has been firmly placed back on me, and I love it. There is a round 2 to 3 corner that we have 75% scouted, but he doesn't look that good. Oh, he's got poor... Oh, God. Why did you even declare for the draft? You suck. Dwayne Malone, 6'2" speed rusher from, what was it, Auburn? Yeah, Auburn. We don't know much about him. He looks interesting, but probably too risky in the 3rd round. Although everybody here in the 3rd round looks risky. What about that left guard? Is he still available? Left tackle? No, he got taken. Okay. I figured he would, but... There could be some solid guards, but they're probably C's. Jamari Bryant, 6'4", pretty good athlete, but his pass blocking could be a C. I'll take him anyway. Only no development. That's pretty understandable. I didn't think he was going to be anything good, but I didn't really like anything else. So we will skip to the end of the draft, let the CPU handle whatever else is left. I don't really have any other options because we're only going 1 more year, so these players literally won't matter at all because we already have everybody starting that we want to start. Although that center that I took could start over the center that we had last year if he's a high enough overall. 73 for Caleb Noel, that's fine. Taylor's a 73 as well. Skukanek is a 74, so he might be a higher overall. And then Bryant, even though he's no development, is a 75. Okay. Then they took a couple guys that are not great. Best player in the class was Nick Walters, wide receiver from Oregon State. All right, good for him. How big is he? He is 6'5", 234. Oh my God. It's 93 speed, 91 excel, 86 catching. Does he have X Factor? He's a huge dude. He's a big Meng. And he's got superstar development. That is a big draft pick for the Saints. Wow, okay. I wish I would have got him. That is a huge pickup. That is one giant Meng. All right. Season 3. Already 2-time champions. It really doesn't matter what happens in this final season. I mean, I'd love to win 3 straight Super Bowls. We'll see what happens. We'll see what goes down. We will adjust the lineup. And they have Skukanek starting over Goodard. Okay, whatever, dog. I'm here for it. We will have Hicks start over Lyle Collins. Offense looks great. That running back that they took has hidden development too. We'll have Juju be the number 4. Love to see it. And then on defense, it's pretty perfect. It is pretty perfect. Noel's the number 3 D tackle. Miles Murphy's getting better. DJ Turner's getting better. Love this team, man. Love this team. We have done really, really well. Adding little pieces here and there to an already pretty good Bengals team. Let's simulate to the end of season number 3, the final season, and see if we can go for that ever-elusive 3-peat. What a way to wrap up the rebuild. We finished the final season 16-1, almost going perfect. That would have been awesome if we would have, but almost going perfect. Joe Burrow actually looks like finished second in the league in passing yards with 4,600 passing yards, 44 touchdowns, just 2 picks, and a 76% completion percentage. I mean, those are MVP caliber numbers. Now, if he's going to get the MVP, probably not. They rarely ever give the user the MVP. I would love it, but we don't know. Probably not. They're probably going to give it to Mahomes again. But those are unbelievable numbers, incredible numbers. Joe Mixon had another really, really good year, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, that's how it should be. I don't know why Tyler Boyd had such a good year last year, but Jamar Chase and T. Higgins is how it should be. 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns for Chase, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns for Higgins, 918 and 10 touchdowns for Tyler Boyd, which is still a very good year, but this is how it should be. These two guys should be leading the team. And Lindsey had 800 yards as well. I didn't even show that. 800 yards and 7 touchdowns for the second-year man out of UCLA. And then defensively, Jermaine Pratt. These two guys just going back and forth for tackle leader. 134 for him, 118 for Wilson, 88 for Jordan. I like Jordan Battle, man. He is a very good player, very underrated. Kelvin Joseph, 77. He ends up being a very, very good pickup for us. Awuzie had 72. Reeder had 60. And then tackle for loss leader was Reeder with 14. Hill had 13, 10 for Hendrickson. Sack leader was Reeder with 6.5. So he just had an all-around really, really good year. 6 for BJ Hill, 4 for Hendrickson, 2.5 for Osai. Miles Murphy didn't really have that great of a year, but that's okay. Jordan Battle, 4 interceptions, 3 for Pratt and Wilson, 2 for Gaither, Davis Gaither, Joseph, Awuzie, and Turner, and then 1 for Taylor Britt and Hill. Those are some good numbers, and now we have to play the Ravens again. I think we should be able to beat the Ravens because, I mean, we obviously beat them twice. I guess I don't know. They might have been the one loss that we had. I don't know. But we do beat them 44-38, taking on the Chargers. Okay. Chargers had a really good year here in this third season. Some big upgrades, but a chance to go to the third Super Bowl for the third straight year. And the Niners got upset by the Falcons, 24-17. It will not be a rematch for the third straight year. And the Packers, the 1 seed, got beat by the 7 seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What is happening? This is absolutely insane. It's going to be a 4 versus 7 on the NFC side of things and a 1 versus 2. So the two best teams in football that are left are on the AFC side of things because the Packers, maybe they were frauds. I don't know. A 1 seed losing in the first round at home to the 7 seed is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I'm loving this team, man. I am absolutely loving this team that we've put together. This offensive line has really, really come together. I told you that was really the biggest need, along with Lindsey, that we needed to do. We need to focus on this offensive line. We got a new left guard. We got a new center. We got a new right tackle. We added Juju Smith-Schuster. We added Lindsey to the tight end spot. And then on defense, we didn't really do much except for just develop the guys. We brought Jordan Battle to start. He got a start development. We brought DJ Turner to be the number 2 guy after getting rid of Mike Hilton. We signed Kelvin Joseph. We drafted Wofford. He's a good backup. We drafted Noel last year. I mean, this team is basically the Cincinnati Bengals. I added a few pieces here and there, and that's what you want to do. That's a good rebuild. A good rebuild is you take what the foundation of the roster is, and you just sprinkle a little bit of talent here and there, and then you've got yourself a Super Bowl champion, which it looks like we do. Joe Burrow is now a clean, true 99 overall. Same thing with Jamar Chase. Let's go out there and get a W and go back to the Super Bowl for the 3rd straight year. It's not going to be the worst thing in the world if we lose, especially because the Chargers are super, super good. Obviously, I want to go back to the Super Bowl, and we don't do it. 19-17. It must have been a really, really good game. It's going to be Falcons, Chargers in the 3rd Super Bowl, but that's okay. Hey, we went to 2 straight Super Bowls, 3 straight AFC titles. This is a dynasty. The Bengals, we've created a dynasty here in Cincinnati. We've completed the rebuild. We completed the rebuild in year number 1, technically. It's going to be Falcons, Chargers in the Super Bowl. Who's going to get it done? I would expect the Chargers to do it. And it will be the Falcons, the 4-seeded Atlanta Falcons. Man, those playbooks are kind of crazy. The 4-seeded Atlanta Falcons have gone into the Super Bowl and won it. 31-24 over the Chargers. Bijan is the MVP of the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow did, in fact, win the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. 2 interceptions. Are you kidding me? He had to do it. We won Coach of the Year. Donald wins the Defensive Player of the Year. Cody Reinhardt, quarterback for the Browns. So it looks like they got themselves their franchise quarterback. He wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then Frank Andrews, a D tackle for the Bills, wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year. So 3 straight Super Bowl, or 3 straight AFC titles, 2 Super Bowls. We got Coach of the Year every year. You love to see it. What a rebuild, man. What an absolute rebuild. This one went pretty flawlessly. which I'm not super shocked by. I mean, it's the Cincinnati Bengals. They're already a pretty good team, so I'm not super shocked by it. Oh, by the way, any upgrades to development traits? Jordan Battle is a superstar development player. He was normal and not even starting when we started this rebuild. That man right there is a bad man. If you want to get yourself a young, undervalued safety that's not going to cost you a whole lot, go for Jordan Battle. And if he plays like he played in our rebuild, you can have yourself a really, really good player. Miles Murphy ends up being okay for us. Didn't really become the pass rusher that I wanted him to, but maybe in a couple of years if we kept going, he would be. DJ Turner's phenomenal. Jermaine Pratt's good. All the linebackers are good. I mean, Noel ends up being a star development player. He's good. He probably becomes a lot better of a player if we started him or played him at number 2 behind Reeder. But I mean, we just had BJ Hill there, so there's not really much for him to do. Then we had Rasheem Wofford out of LSU, who I don't even think we drafted. I think the CPU drafted him when we simulated, and he ends up being a pretty good player. Just kind of got buried in the depth chart because he's a lower overall, and we had a bunch of good corners already. And then for these offensive linemen, man, they were the keys. Donovan Woodard out of Georgia, just a phenomenal player. Very happy that we took him. I think he was our first-round pick in year number 1, wasn't he? He was one of our first-round picks. Then we took J.D. Goddard, and he was going to be the starter. He's a fine player. He's just a little bit too low of an overall. He's a fine player. But then we got this man, Sean Skukanek, which when I first read it, thought it was Suckanek, which I kind of like a little bit more. I might call him Suckanek even though it's not, just because I like that a little bit more. But he ends up being even better than Goddard, and he's a stud. He is a stud. You got to love a good Suckanek. And then we got this man right here, Niles Hicks, who was a 6'5" right guard that we moved to right tackle, and ends up being a very good player. But maybe the steal of the entire rebuild was this man right here, Tyson Lindsey, superstar development out of UCLA. He obviously had star going into it, but he developed to a superstar, and he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. Just think if we were in Kansas City's offense, he'd be a 99 by now. Unbelievably talented, great player, and a fun rebuild. I really enjoyed it. It didn't take too much effort, which is good every once in a while, to have a rebuild where it doesn't take too much effort, because there are some bad teams in the NFL that take a lot of time to rebuild. But the Bengals just needed a few pieces here and there. They just need a little bit of help, just a little nudge to get them going. And look what happened. 2-time Super Bowl champions, 2 in a row, 3 straight AFC titles. Pretty successful rebuild. If you enjoyed, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watch. I truly appreciate it. Leave your suggestions down below for other teams you want to see me rebuild, whether in the current day, or you want to see in the 2012 mod, or the 2015 mod, or the NCAA mod. Whatever it may be, let me know down below in the comments, and I will take them into consideration. Possibly do them in a video in the future. That's going to do for me, though, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.